Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new interview with Palantir's Alex Karp alongside the CEO of the newest company they did a deal with, Crisis24, which is a risk management intelligence firm. This is going to be a very interesting interview. I've watched a part of it, but not all of it. Karp talks about the stock price. He talks about Wall Street. And the CEO of this company that they've done a deal with, very similar to the Hertz deal, mentions that Palantir kind of puts their business on steroids. So it's going to be a really interesting interview to watch and react to. Let's open it up right now and let's get right into it.
Fox Business World exclusive here. As the globe becomes a more dangerous place, Palantir is packing another partnership punch, adding to its long list of private and public collaborations this quarter with a project that could revolutionize security and risk management across the whole world. The data mining firm has penned a multi-million-dollar partnership with GardaWorld's Crisis24. That is a Canadian leading risk management and crisis response firm. Using Palantir's Foundry platform and artificial intelligence, Crisis24 will leverage critical information on terrorism, geopolitics, and crime to better understand the current threat landscape and help protect some of the world's most influential people, organizations, communities, nonprofits, the list goes on. Palantir CEO and co-founder Alex Karp and GardaWorld founder, president, and CEO Stéphane Crétier join me now, live and exclusively. Alex, welcome to the show. Give me your best possibilities on what you believe this partnership can do for clients. We have viewers listening who say, I'm trying to visualize the real benefit here.
Well, first of all, Stefan and Garda are the absolute leaders in this field. And what we've seen in the anti-terror context and recently in the war context is if you take cutting-edge algorithmic-driven software platforms and take the best data sets in the world, which Garda has thanks to Stefan building a truly phenomenal company, you can get way ahead of adversaries, and quite frankly, you can outperform the competition. So what we believe will happen is just a next-generation dynamic business that both provides a lot of value to clients, meaning disrupts criminals and terrorists, which is core to our mission, but also, quite frankly, disrupts his competition because they have among the best data sets. It's one of the most interesting companies in the world, and we're very bullish on what we can do with our Palantir, our government products and commercial products in this context.
Well, when I think about GardaWorld, Stéphane, I think about so many different ways that you are in the security business. This is not just, oh, we do cybersecurity. You have actual security people guarding all around the world. When you started to talk with Alex and the Palantir people, you know, I think about initial merger talks. You know, if I were a fly on the wall, I'm hearing you say, we could do this, we could do that. What do you hope is the number one thing that comes out of this merger?
Well, first of all, we're really two entrepreneurial companies who lead in their field and are not afraid, you know, to really innovate, you know, in this business. And plus, both Alex and I are really, you know, addicted to growth. So, you know, already there's a cultural fit here. But really, our partnership, you know, focuses on really two ways. Because of the volume of risk analysis we produce, you know, and our clients' needs, usually our analysis will cover, you know, 1 mile wide, but, you know, mostly 100 feet deep. You know, where we get excited with Palantir's Foundry, you know, software capabilities, it puts our AI capacities on steroids, and we will be in a position to produce analysis that may be only 100 feet wide, but really 1 mile deep. It gives us incredible capacity to go deep on really specific topics.
Right. So you put in, input is probably the better word, Alex, a lot of data, and you can see what? Trends, possibilities of maybe terrorist attacks. And I bring this up because right now, an arraignment is happening of the alleged Pan Am Flight 103 Lockerbie bomber. We've got a camera outside there, but the, you know, Abu Aguila Mohammed Madood is the one that they have arrested, and he's about to be arraigned on this. I mean, is it a stretch to have said that if they had had the Foundry and GardaWorld and the opportunity to put your expertise together to work, could something like this have been spotted beforehand?
Well, you know, it's always very hard to go back in time, but what I can tell you is in the last couple of years, some of the largest terror attacks in the world have been disrupted in the Palantir product. Those really? Disruptions changed the course of history, made it so that we still have democratic governments in Europe, which I'm not sure we'd have if the terror attacks had happened, made America safer and stronger, and have led to a very different outcome on the battlefield in Ukraine. What we have here is a truly entrepreneurial talent in Stefano, one of the most interesting companies in the world, but quite frankly, independent of all that, just one of the largest, most interesting data sets in the world. And if you mirror that with the power of advanced algorithmic work that can be done in Foundry, you can disrupt terrorists, because often you know more about their behavior than they know about their behavior. Because in fact, they throw off a pattern they don't realize they're throwing off, and that allows you to disrupt the terrorist criminals and other people who are plotting against you.
So a couple things I'll say on that. Obviously, Palantir was created in the wake of 9/11 to be able to use the fraud detection algorithms that they created in PayPal that stopped a lot of fraud in the financial sector to apply to the governmental context to stop a future 9/11. And so when Karp, I mean, he has said this many times, when they've worked with European countries in the past to stop terrorist attacks, he's not lying about that. I mean, that's like serious stuff that Palantir has been able to do to thwart terrorist attacks. Peter Thiel has even acknowledged this in Europe in particular. And Europe's democracy is, it's like, it can be on the brink. I mean, there are various terror attacks in the 2010s that led a lot of people to believe, especially in France, is this a government that can survive these? Because if your nation is under attack and you're constantly getting attacked, your democracy suffers. The ability for citizens to trust in their elected officials to keep them safe, which is the number one goal of a government. It's the reason why you elect people in the first place, that you give them through the social contract, your safety. That's why you pay taxes, right? And then if that goes away, that's really bad. So the idea that Palantir has protected that makes sense. Now being partnered with a risk intelligence firm, which not only for commercial clients, but also for governmental clients, is able to give them better tools and analyses and put their AI on steroids. To me, what that means is if you inject Foundry into data sets that are already incredibly powerful and volatile, you then have this mixture of being able to see patterns and trends and data analysis at a level of scale that probably hasn't been done before. And as a result of that, be able to come to conclusions and drive better decision-making to ultimately help your firm. It seems like a partnership that makes a lot of sense, and it seems like a partnership that, again, is very bullish on Palantir's ability to find these different companies across the world that can use their software and, again, put them on steroids and partner with them, and then just work, and serve that as a case study for future clients that they can get.
And so these kind of technologies make us safer and freer. And one of the ironies is liberty-loving people like me and Stefan build these technologies that really do outperform people from dictatorial or human rights abusing countries like many of our adversaries.
Real quick on the stock, Alex. You just announced last week, and we had one of your top executives on talking about a multi-year deal with the platinum version of everything everybody wants to be in healthcare, the Cleveland Clinic. Now you've got another one with the Tampa healthcare giant here, Tampa General. You are striking deals right and left, doing exactly what a company dreams of doing, and yet it's not being reflected in the stock. I know you're going to say, we don't look at the stock day to day, but how do you forget Wall Street, how do you get our viewers, look, it's up 2% right now, but everybody else to say, you know what, this one is one I really see a long tail.
This is the thing. While Wall Street and other people ignore us, we're printing free cash flow, growing our client base, disrupting the market in America, especially England, Canada, winning the best partners like Garda. And of course, the markets shift. And when they shift, you're going to see a massive integral of revenue, the deepest entrenchment of the most important products that can't really be built by other people, with the best partners, creating value like with Garda that can't be matched. And that's why I'm very bullish on the long-term health of Palantir. That's where we're at.
The couple of things he said at the end there about the stock prices, Wall Street doesn't get them, but markets will shift. And when markets shift, at that point, markets will have to recognize what's going on. And the reason markets will hypothetically, theoretically recognize what is going on with Palantir when it shifts, meaning when we get to a bull cycle, is because Palantir is creating products that can't be replicated. And I think that's a really big deal. That's one of the points I got out of his analysis at the end, which is like these, and I know, he said this many times, but it's just like, these are products that can't be replicated. These are products you can't just easily do out of nowhere. What is this thing in the corner? Oh, here it is. These are products that, at the end of the day are going to be like, these are products that other companies can't just recreate. And so while the market is down, Palantir is printing free cash flow. They're not profitable yet. They've got to get rid of SBC. They've got to continue to improve their adjusted operating margin. They've got to get GAAP profitable. And you want to give them about 4 or 5 quarters, 6 quarters to be able to get there. 2025 is their target. But while the economy sucks, they are getting more cash. They are getting some of the best clients in the world, the Cleveland Clinic, Crisis 24. I mean, these are really special clients that are choosing to work with Palantir over many other companies. They're growing their clientele base, they're growing their governmental contracts, and they're setting up the foundation, I believe, for when it's time for them to go to the moon, or when it's time for them to at least get closer to being one of those stocks that appreciates in value when the macro has shifted, for all of this stuff to be done over the past 2 years where the market looks at them and says, how can we not appreciate this company? And will that happen? I don't know. But is there a good chance it would happen? I would be willing to bet on Palantir over a lot of other companies in the market that actually does happen, given the fact that they're executing and they have the tech and the product to justify it, and they have the leadership, in my opinion, to really take it to the next level. So those are my thoughts. That's Alex Karp talking on the new partnership with Crisis 24 and his reflections on the stock price. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments. I'll see you in the next one.